So today we're talking about this recent article in the Multifamily Journal on building a 21st century maintenance team. The maintenance teams are such a real important piece of our properties. They're a huge component of the communities that we run. So what the author of this article is saying is that, the maintenance team is such an important piece. You can't just say, hey, welcome to the team, here are your keys. And so what they're saying is that 8% turnover of maintenance professionals across the U.S. each year, and that's probably about average. That's probably what we've seen year over year, about a quarter of our team, which we really try to do better than that. Some years I'd say we do quite a bit better than that, and other years we do worse, I'd say. So probably on average we do hit about 28% or so. So first thing they're saying here is you must provide the tools for success. They're really relying here on tech tools, modern tech. Everyone is walking around with a phone. So what kind of software do you have that your tech team, your maintenance team can hook into to log in, see the work orders, see what's required, take photos, log that it's done. There's some really basic maintenance tools, tracking tools that can be done on the phone that they can log that it's done. And this also makes the note that, that they can also then track and know that rather than having to walk all the way back across the complex to then realize their next work order is back in the same building, that they can see what's next and be able to plan out their day and know that the next work order is, maybe just in the next hall down. So being able to plan their day efficiently is important. That's important for you as an owner, by the way, because you don't want them spending their time walking back and forth across the property. You would much rather that maintenance tech be more efficient and just walk into the next hallway and get that next work order done rather than walking back and forth across the property. I'd much rather spend have these folks be in units than have them walking across our properties. Okay, so the next item is offering resources for career path development. They want to know what's next. Do you have additional trainings? We usually offer pool certifications. That's a path that our folks usually like to get certified CPOs, certified pool operators. That's definitely something that a lot of the maintenance techs come in and want to get trained on. Could be that they want to get HVAC trained, some kind of plumbing certifications, things like that. We definitely want, trainings. There's trainings in the community college. There's trainings that some other providers have. If there's trainings available, we want to offer that up. And if that's something they want to learn, then we usually like to provide the time and space for them to go take those trainings, because that's going to make them more valuable and more able to do better work for us. So that's awesome too. Next one is saying compassion. They're talking about understanding, weather conditions and whether it's a minus 10 degree day or 110. A lot of our portfolios in North Carolina this week is going to be topping over 100 degrees this week here in North Carolina, and we're in June still. So I know my maintenance team is going to be out there sweating, and they're going to be out there hiking, walking across properties. So how do we understand and relate to our maintenance team? This says offer up treats and drinks to help combat the condition. I really think that is not enough. I don't think this article is going far enough to say offering drinks. Yeah, we can stock a fridge full of water. That's sort of base level. But do you have a place for the maintenance team to go get out of the sun? We have in most of our properties at least an air-conditioned space for our maintenance team to get out of the sun. For most of our properties where we can, we have golf carts for them to operate out of, so they're not walking across our large properties. So that does help with that as well. And if they need fans in their workplace or things like that, we definitely want to be able to provide that as well. So where you can, recognize that these guys are out there working in the heat, and that you've got to really be aware of that. Of course, we don't want anyone getting hurt or overexerting themselves. So be cautious of that. Alleviating all on-call hours, so really working with your regional managers and upper management to understand the on-call schedule and how that works, making sure that you're paying for the overtime, paying for the hours, making sure the on-call schedule is fair, I think is incredibly important as well. I definitely agree with that. And then centralizing when applicable. This is talking about basically if you can have multiple properties in an area, and centralizing, basically being able to leverage the portfolio and being able to leverage the power of having multiple properties. We do that as well. So if we have a group of properties, that's why we go deep in one market. So we might have at one property someone who's great at plumbing, and at another property someone who's great at electrical, and we might cross-share across properties. And so that actually makes us more efficient, where I can bring the guy from one property to another when there's the plumbing problem, and cross-share when there's an electrical problem the other way. And so that allows us to be more efficient. We don't have to call third-party vendors in quite as often. It allows them to show off, teach skills to other people as well. That means they get to learn, they get to feel like they're teaching other people. And so knowledge is getting shared back and forth as well. So not only do I agree with this article, I actually think that you can do quite a bit more. We try to do more than all of these things as well. This is really just scratching the surface. So, our maintenance team, we really try to engage with them. I'll take this one step further. Every time we visit the property, it's a two-way communication, and we're always talking to the team, and we'll have that conversation on what's going on, what's happening at the property, and what do you guys need? Because I want to hear from them. I want to hear what their challenges are. Maybe there's a thing they're doing that's taking them 4 hours every week, that if they just had this tool, it'd only take 20 minutes, right? And if they can be more efficient, then that might save us some money, save us some time, make them more efficient, make their job a bit easier. I'm not looking to spend endless amount of money and have them take the easy way out, but I am looking for efficiency. And if I can make their job easier or more efficient, that allows it to free them up some time to go work on the next work order, then that might work. And so that's why I want to have two-way communication. I'm always talking to my team. I know my regional managers, my asset managers, everyone knows it's a two-way communication. Someone has an idea. I don't care if you're the groundskeeper who was just hired, or you've been there, you're a maintenance supervisor who's been there for 5 years. I want to hear from everybody. I want to chat about what you have going on, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, because anyone might have a great idea about how we can be doing things better, more efficiently. And who knows, we might have the money for it, we might not. It might be something we can do now. It might be something we keep in mind for a few years from now. But if it's a way we can work more efficiently, if it's a way that they can be heard, then that makes them feel a bit better, makes them feel like they're being valued, and that their ideas are heard, and that they're a valuable member of the team. And so I absolutely agree with this article. The maintenance team is absolutely critically important to your team. So love this article. Definitely want to salute that article and agree with it. Eric Platter, proprietary app or purchase software for maintenance work orders. That is handled through your property management tool. When you get to a certain scale, all the big property management softwares have work order management in them. So Yardi, Entrata, even AppFolio, all those will have the work order management within them. Part of the maintenance team and listening and asking for that feedback is hearing when they ask for something, right? So sometimes when you hear from the maintenance team about what would make things easier or more efficient, they will tell you something that actually is an amazing idea. So we had a unit in our property in Fayetteville, and we were using a unit essentially to store everything for maintenance. So it was 198 units. One unit was being used as the office, so now we're down to 197. One unit was being used as storage for maintenance, so now we're down to 196. And we said, hey, you know what? We're getting kind of full over here in occupancy. We actually could rent that unit out if we had a dedicated maintenance shed that was not this unit. And I said, well, yeah, let's actually do the math on that, and figuring out we could rent that. If we renovated that unit, rented it out, the revenue for that unit makes a lot more sense versus filling it with maintenance supplies. Let's go build a shed for the maintenance team, and while we're at it, let's get them some golf carts and everything else. And so we actually went ahead and built a maintenance shed for our team. And this idea had come from the maintenance team. This thing cost us, I think, about all in $40,000 or so. Can we see it? There we go. So between the concrete, the electrical, this was like a 40 by 30-ish shed. We built a wall, so part of it was air conditioned in the back. This had a 220 line so we could test appliances in it. It had space for golf carts to be stored, all kinds of room for appliances to be stored, shelving in the back for all the tools the maintenance team needed. This was just an open space that had not been being used. And so this thing, we had the money available in the reserves and it freed up that unit. And so by taking that unit back, we increased the NOI on the property. So we made that money back in the value of the property, and the maintenance team had a dedicated space available for all of their maintenance needs. So really proud of this, and just kind of want to show that off and show that we had done this for them. So I'm really proud of doing that project for them. Anyway, listen to your maintenance team. You might get a really good idea that could improve your NOI.